Welcome to a Form Stamplifier challenge post. My name is Tanya and I am on Nathalie's Creative Squad, and today I am playing along with Nat's Art for Me's challenge, and uh, my prompt was print. So of course I love printmaking, and I am a very big jelly arts printing enthusiast, so I've brought out my 5x7 gel plate, and I have a brayer, and I have a selection of acrylic paints which are also by Jelly Arts. There will be a link to all the products used on Nat's blog. I'll leave a link down in the description below. So I am applying paint to my 5x7 Jelly Arts plate. This is one of my favorite sizes to use. I've just recently discovered that I've loved inking my Art for Me stamps with a gel plate, because you can apply a perfectly even coat of paint, and you can basically use your gel plate as a stamp pad for your Art for Me's, which is something really nice, as you get a nice even coverage on your Art for Me's. So I've got a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and I am stamping with Nat's newest release of Art for Me's, and I am really going to town with them. And every time I'm done with my paint, because I have such a thin layer of paint on my gel plate, I am able to take a print and completely take off all that paint from the gel plate and start with some more colors. Now, I'm generally sticking to like 4 or 5 colors which I know go well together, and I am adding black acrylic paint and white acrylic paint to get all sorts of tints, tones and shades. And to clean my gel plate, I am just taking another scrap piece of paper and putting prints, and I am continuing to add more color and taking prints. Now I'm gonna try and leave as much white space on the 12 by 12 piece of paper that I'm working on, just to sort of give it a little bit more of a airier look. I don't quite know how to describe it, but I am really trying to embrace white space in my work these days. So I'm just gonna make a couple of more prints, and I've got a little bit of paint left on my brayer as well, and I am applying that, as you saw, to my print, my 12 by 12 paper. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a one of those one sheet wonders. I'm going to be making a small little mini album using just this 12 by 12 sheet. So there's lots of tutorials on YouTube. This is just the easiest way I find. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my Fiskars cutting tool, and I am scoring it at 3 inches, at 6 inches, and at 9 inches. And I am going to rotate it 90 degrees, and then I'm going to do the same score lines again at 3 inches, at 6 inches, and at 9 inches. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. If you just do Google search for mini albums made with 12 by 12 paper, there's lots of ways that you can create album or a little art journal. So what I'm doing now is I am cutting. Uh, my first cut was up to that very first score line as you saw, and then the second cut I am just making from downwards to the last score line, and then my very last one is I'm going to cut from downwards up to that very first score line, and then I'll be left with this M kind of shape. I'll just pull it apart just to show you. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be accordion folding on where all the score lines are to create my mini album. I absolutely love making mini albums and art journals. I don't think that you can have too many. Some days I might dare and put on a video on how many art journals I have. So I am just continuing to, I've just finished folding my mini album, and I am just pressing it to make sure that the edges match up as well as they can. Now, to glue all the pages together, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You could leave one side of it open if you wanted the kind of mini album that you could have pockets for. But for simplicity's sake, I am gluing down all the edges so that I get a nice solid chunky page mini album. And as I am gluing them down, I am also using my bone folder to make sure that I burnish all the edges. So I am just flipping through the album, making sure that all the pages are glued down, and just giving it a final little squish just to make sure that all the edges line up. And I have some washi tape that I've had in my stash for a really long time, and I absolutely adore this washi tape. I think it's a Tim Holtz Ideology one. And I like using this washi tape to finish off the edges of my mini album, just to give it a slightly more finished look. And I'm trimming off the excess washi tape and just making sure that it opens really well, and a final burnish with my bone folder. And there you have it. The mini album is all finished. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you will take part in Nat's Art for Me's Stamplifier challenge. Here's some images of the finished mini album. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and see you later.